Hi guys, Durka Gaming here and welcome back to another video. I've had a lot of requests to do a video on the Q400, even though I have done one a little while back, and I've also done two videos on the FMC, how to input a flight plan into the FMC and how to start up the Q400 as well. So if you guys haven't checked out those videos, please have a look on my YouTube video and you will find them. I will actually put a link at the beginning of this video. So we are going to fly on Qantas Virtual, a Qantas Link flight from Port Macquarie down to Sydney. Port Macquarie is still New South Wales, a nice little town just along the east coast of New South Wales. Flight time is about 40 minutes, 45 minutes down to Sydney. Today I'm going to show you how to set up PFPX. I'm going to show you how to do your planning in EFB, and then obviously show you how to do everything in the Q400 as well. So I'll show you bit by bit. Good. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in PFPX. Welcome back. Now we're going to start our flight planning within PFPX. First thing we need to do is click New, and you can fill in the airline or the flight number. I'm not going to bother with that. So we're going from YPMQ, which is Port Macquarie, down to Sydney, which is YSSY. Okay, that automatically picks up the wind, so it will tell us what runway and what our landing runway is. We might change that depending on which is the preferred runway coming into Sydney this evening or afternoon. Registration, so we just need to choose the aircraft, and we're using VHQOM, which is the Bombardier Dash. Okay, that's good. Next is we just do a random payload. We need to change this to Australian piston aircraft, and then we'll do a quick route. There we go. You can see the route there now. Yeah, it's given us one of the side runways, which is runway 25. We'll change that. I'll have a look on flight radar just to see. Oh, we'll obviously check the winds, even though it's telling us the winds there. I'll just see what runway they're coming in on flight radar. That always gives you a good idea what the preferred runway is today. Then we click Find Destination Alternatives. That will automatically find it. Then we compute the flight, and then we release it. Oh, I should have actually showed you. So you can see there, I clicked it a bit too quick. Basically the step before that just tells you the flight time and a few other things, but that's all good. First thing I do is I export it. I export it as a flight sim, a Microsoft Flight Sim file. Basically this allows me to, and I will show you, this allows me to add this to EFB. So we can look at what SIDs and stars we need to pick up. So yeah, so you just need to tick that. You click Save, and then you click OK there. And then we can see what our fueling is, what our load is. Then it tells us our flight plan. So it gives us the elevation at the airport, what our cruise is, total air distance. Gives us our packs, our cargo, gives us the fuel again. Then further down here it gives us the alternative planning. Then it gives us our weather en route, wind information, etc, etc. Okay, good, and that's pretty much it. If you were flying the NGX or a few other things, you can send it to TopCat. You can send this to VATSIM if we were flying on VATSIM, and to SkyVector. Cool, pretty straightforward. So what we'll do now is we'll now set up our SIDs and stars within EFB, and I'll see you in a sec. Welcome back. We are now in EFB and we are going to finish our flight planning. So first thing we need to do is click route setup, which is ready selected. Then go to select. Then go to saved routes and we're going to choose Microsoft Flight Sim. Remember we saved that in PFPX. So we click that and then now you can see that it's picked up all my flight plans. So here's the latest one, what we chose earlier. So we click open. There we go. So we got Port Macquarie to Sydney, Kingsford Smith International. It's given us our cruise. If we wanted to go on VATSIM, we would just click check, then click use data online from VATSIM and you click start. And that will pick up, we can actually see if there's anyone online. I don't think, Victoria is, Melbourne is, so Tower's online, so we don't have to bother about that. Okay, once that there's our routing as well. Once we're happy with that, you click activate. Alright, and then what it does is shows you our ground, our departure, en route, arrival, approach, and then Sydney ground. So first thing we need to do is click departure, and there are no SIDs leaving Port Macquarie. So what we'll do is we'll basically just vector ourselves out straight away. So we won't use a SID. So we'll just basically, so what we'll fly, if we go back here, we'll fly straight to PMQ. So that will be our first waypoint. Good, and that's pretty straightforward. What we'll do is later on in the video, I will, oh sorry, PMQ is actually the VOR straight over the airport. So our first waypoint is Tari. So we'll fly straight down to Tari. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll come back to EFB when we going to work out our arrival, and then we'll put our arrival, our approach into Sydney. But I will show you that later on the video. Alright, there we go guys, that's EFB, pretty straightforward. So so that's PFPX done and that's EFB done. Now what we'll do is we'll get back into the aircraft and we will start setting up so we can start heading off. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, hello. So we are now going to start setting up the aircraft for our flight down to Sydney. As you can see, I have the control panel up. We need to do a few changes in the control panel. So I'm just going to get PFPX up in the other screen. There you go. So I think this should be pretty similar, because if you guys remember, I streamed this flight from Sydney up to Port Macquarie, so it should be the same. I think my passengers has changed a little bit, so obviously we might be, I don't know, a little lighter. I'll have a look now. Yeah, we are a tad lighter. So anyway, good. So let me just see how many passengers we have. So we have 59 passengers, so let's change that quickly. Oh, in the wrong, so 59, let's take 2 from there, so let's do 16. Sorry, I was meant to do 14. Let's do 12 there. Let's do 20 there. There we go. 50. It's 59. Let's do one more there. 21. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Good. Trip fuel is 832. 832. And our total fuel is 1,900. Okay. So what we need to do is just calculate this. Alright, and you can see now we are within all the limits for zero fuel weight, the landing, takeoff, all that type of thing. Okay, fairly straightforward. Once you add this, like the baggage section and the pack section, you don't have to change it again. Obviously, if you're running things like PFPX or you're running a VA software, sometimes in the dispatch it will give you packs numbers. So if you want to change that, or if you always want to leave it around 59, then do it. I like changing the passengers. The report I get back from PFPX, I like doing that. So okay, good. Last thing we have to do is send it to the flight sim, and you will see in the background that P3D will pause. There we go, sim pause. That means it's taken. I always do it a second time, just habit, just so I make sure that that it's taken. And then the other figure we need to look at is our calculator zero fuel mass, this 24237, because I run a little script, and you can see the link down below. A big thank you to Mr. Roper for that. So you can see that we do have a 24237. Okay, we'll just minimize this for a sec. Let's unpause our sim and let's get back into the aircraft. So we are going to start setting up now. So the first thing we need to do is put on FMCs, put our brake on as well. This lock should be on, and our condition lever should be up. I just want to say as well, you'll hear some VA software in the background. I'm actually doing this as part of my Qantas virtual airline. I belong to Qantas Virtual, so I will be doing this flight with them, so you will hear some software in the background. Okay, the other things I do is main bus tie, external power is on, external power on there, put the ignition switches to normal, fasten seatbelt, no smoking sign goes on. What we can do is just accept these two, and then first thing I want to do is request the GPU for ground power. Just get rid of that as well. So we got some flashing lights. So there we go. Now you can see we've got ground power there. So that's started. Good. What else? External power's on. Bleeds are off. We will switch those on. Alright, I think everything is fine. Let me just run my Qantas software. So, I just want to just change. It's asking me for a different altitude. We're flying at 20,000.
Crew, prepare for departure.
Okay, there we go. So let me put that a little softer.
Hello everyone. I'll shortly be asking you to turn off your electronic devices. If your device is flight mode,
okay,
please activate it now.
So let's start setting up the FMC now. Let me just quickly turn these on.
On behalf of the captain and the
So if you want to control your radios by your FMC, you need to turn the little dial here to FMS where it says there, so you can basically change it in your radio stack or the FMC. I like changing it in the FMC. So alright, good. Okay, so first thing I do is the fuel. So you click fuel on board, and we had 1,900. You can split these up by tank to tank, so you just half what you just half what your total fuel is. I just put both in tank 1 and then click enter, and then you can see his total there. And I return. And then the other one I do is 0 fuel weight. If you remember, it was 24,237. I'm going to close this now. 24,237. 24,237. Enter. You can add all these other things in. I don't bother. I just do 0 fuel weight and the fuel on board. Okay. And then once that's done, let's just get rid of that message. Once that's done, I go to flight plan and we start putting our flight plan in. Let me just get it up. Okay, good. So we are leaving Port Macquarie, which is YPMQ. Enter. You can hit enter again, or you can click accept there. Okay. The next one is tray, T-R-E, enter, enter, and then we've got an airway. So what you do, you click on list. You can see on the right hand side here, you've got airway. Okay, you click that. So from the waypoint tray, we want to go to W603, which is 4. Don't type in W603. All you need to do is just type in the 4. The 4. Enter. So from tree, or tray, whatever you want to call it, via airway W603, it's taking us to CAA, which is number 5. Okay. Again, don't type in CAA. You click enter. And then we put in our destination, which is Sydney, which is YSSY. Click enter and enter again. Okay, good. There's no SID. There's no SID leaving Port Macquarie, but what we're going to do, we need to just still, even though it won't show up, we still need to just add in the runway we've taken off from. So what you do, you click menu and you go to depart, and there you can see select runway, and we are going to be taking off from, let me just check the winds here. The wind is 335, so 335, 335, let's just see what EZDok gives me. Direct to EZDok's giving me both really, so what we'll do is we will take off from 03, and then we'll just vector ourselves over the sea and then down, and we will link up to tree, our first waypoint. So we need to put in 1 and then enter again, and that's where you would put a SID, but as I said, we got no SID there, so just back to flight plan. Okay, and the other thing you want to do, and I've always done this, and I remember reading it somewhere or watching a video, you click the direct to, and you always put in your first waypoint, which is the airport you're leaving at. So this case it's 1. And you see, did you see that? I should have actually, I don't know if you guys noticed that. Sorry, that was actually our flight plan was actually in pink, and as soon as we clicked the first waypoint, or the first number 1 in that list, which was the airport, it turned to white. I'm not sure, it almost just finishes the plan off. It activates the plan. So if someone can leave something in the comments and tell me exactly why you've got to do direct to there. As I said, I'm not 100% sure. I've always just done it since day one when learning this aircraft. I've always just added direct to. As I said, I think it sort of finishes the plan off. It activates it, that it knows that you are at your destination airport. So just remember that. Just always go to direct to and put in your first waypoint. Okay, so that's the flight plan done. We've done our fuel. So let me just look at my list here. I've just got a little Q400 checklist I use. Before start, doors and fueling light is out, passenger signs are on, that's check, cabin report we've received, flight deck door is locked, anti-collision goes to red, so we can put our anti-collision there. We can put our logo light on as well, turn that off at 10,000. Alright, we've got to do a couple of more things. Our QNH is 1090, so okay. And the other thing I want to do is I want to put in my speed bugs, and I run this little script. As I mentioned, you can see it at the bottom in the comments. There's the link there. Download it and just read through the install. But it's a handy little script. It saves you putting them in manually. Yeah, a little bit of a lazy way, but at the same time really easy. So I've just made a shortcut on my keyboard. So there you go there. So what it basically does, it reads the takeoff weight, it reads the temperature outside, the altitude you are, and it just reads or tells you what flaps you should be at, what speeds you should be at. So I'm just going to take off at flap 5. Okay, so you can either go flaps 5, flaps 10 or flaps 15. So all you have to do is just type in 1, which you can see up the top there in the left hand corner, number 1, and then you just click enter. And now have a look over here. You see where my mouse is on the left here? Have a look over there. As soon as I click enter, there we go. So it gives you your V1, your V rotate, your V2. Then it gives you your, I think it's the go around speed or the deport, yeah, your go around speed, and I can't remember the last one. But anyway, there we go. Good, easy. So that's done. Our speed bugs are done. Our QNH is done. What we can do, nav source, change to FMS1. Altitude, we've got no restrictions, so I'm just going to get straight up to 20,000. Remember to click Alt Select. I don't think we can, it goes on yet. No, it doesn't go on yet. Okay. And our heading is, what was our heading? We were taking off from, just see. Our heading is actually 017. 017. Okay, there we go. So remember, we've got no SID and we're taking off from the south and heading over the ocean, and then what we'll do, we'll vector around sort of this way over the sea, and then we'll go towards Trey there. Okay, good, good, good. So we're going to start up now. I'm not sure with Qantas, but I know Flybe and a few other airlines who fly the Q400, they always start one engine at the gate, and then you do the pushback, and then you start the second one. So that's how I do it with all my flights. So that's how we're going to do it now. We're just going to put that on, the anti-skid. Let me just double check everything else is all good. Our steering is on. Alright, so you are going to hear some beeping because GSX isn't going to, they don't like it when the GPU is out, so just ignore the beeping. So here we go. Alright, we want to go we want to go to the right. Yeah, we want to go to the right. So there we go, there's GSX.
Hello, Captain. We're waiting for pushback.
Okay, so they're ready. So what I'm going to do now is start engine 2. So see, it's asking to remove the GPU, so we'll just quickly start that up, then we'll get rid of it. Alright, we've got good start up there. Alright, that's started up now. Now we can get rid of the GPU. So go to data, services, and we can cancel the GPU. And now the ground crew will ask us to release the brakes. See that waiting there for us. There we go, now he's walking.
Locking gear.
Right, I'm going to just put some more pilot side heat on. Put that one up there. I know, as I said, my startup and my checklist, I know everyone who's watching the video must probably saying, put on your pitot heat and your boot air and all that. I know some guys just release the parking brakes, yeah. I know some guys put these on straight away. I do them, I've got them later on in my flow just before takeoff, so. But if you want to put your pitos on now, and then you can just hear the VA software in the background. As I said, I belong to Qantas Virtual, so that's their software. It's the software I'm using. You can see the link below as well in the comments if you guys want to join Qantas Virtual. All right, let's see if GSX actually gives us a good pushback. Yeah, sometimes they don't do the best at pushback. So this is Port Macquarie, Orbx Port Macquarie. Again, in the comments you can see everything I'm using for this video. A great little airport. I've been to this part of New South Wales, and yeah, nice little town, Port Macquarie. I didn't fly into it. I drove up from Sydney, so yeah, cool little airport. So. Let's see what GSX is going to do. Yeah, that's a nice pushback there. Stop us there, guys. Oh, did you just walk straight through again? Oh, yeah, we go. Yep, it's giving us problems again. Oh yes, there we go. Good old GSX. I do like GSX, but yeah, there is a few little things which they could improve. Especially, I quite like it. I know you can get. I think you can get rid of these little other cars. Yeah. But I always feel when you do a push and start and they do a pushback, I think these should disappear completely. Actually, now that I've mentioned that, if anyone knows if you can do that, let me know please in the comments. I don't think you can. I know you can move them. You can move these so they're further away. But I'd like it, as soon as you do the pushback, that these just disappear completely, and obviously you just see the parking brake on. Yeah, you just see the guy in the tug and the guy on the earphones. Okay, so we're going to start the other engine now. So we're going to select engine number 1, click the start button. We're going to wait wait for, there we go, you can see it spooling up. Okay, now we can apply the condition lever up to feather.
Tow truck disconnected. 5 knots speed removed.
Go. Well, I was wondering, let's just have a look here. I was wondering where the other runway is. Oh, there it is there. I've not noticed that before, actually.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Yeah, there's the other runway. I thought, yeah, I think this is there's a little grass runway, yeah.
Clear to start engine.
Oh, look at the, I don't know what this is over here. Yeah, there's a little grass runway, some GA planes. Cool. A nice little airport, this. Alright, going to give us a wave, that everything's fine, and then we can just finish the last few things. Oh, he says he waved already. Oh, why is he coming back? Where's he going? Oh, hello. Good old GSX. Anyway, so after start, external power is off. Main bus tie we can turn off. We can turn external power off there. Our generators are on. We can put our bleeds on now, and our recirc fan on. Condition levers. Go to max. Auto feather goes on. Our fuel pumps go on. Let me just come a little closer for you guys so you guys can see. So there we go, auto feather. Auxiliary pump goes on, 1 and 2. Our standby hydraulics go on, and our PTU control goes on as well. Our rudder is full travel. That's good. No steering is on. We did check that earlier. There we go. The bleeds we need to put on to minimum. There we go there. Ice protection test. There we go. Let's test. And our TCAS, even though we're not on VATSIM or anything like that, there you can see over there, we just hold it down, just click on it, and then on Alt. That means TCAS is on. Good, good. Good, good. Sorry guys, I want to just change this quickly. Apologies for the... I'm not sure why that's all messed up, but there we go. Good, good. Alright, so we've got a taxi checklist and then we've got a before takeoff checklist. Alright, let's get going. So, when the brakes go, we can start swirling up. On. We can actually do flaps 5 as well. Let's do, there we go, flaps 5. Yeah, really sensitive. There we go, So what we're going to do is we're going to taxi down the runway. Taxiways, yeah, Port Macquarie, so... Well, there's a little one, yeah. There's a little one, yeah. I guess if there was a plane coming to land and you were about to take off, so what we would do, there's no, as I said, I'm not on VATSIM or FS Cloud or anything like that, so... sensitive. Alright, so our taxi checklist brakes. There we go, check those. Flight instruments. Check as long as oh, everything's good there, that's fine. It's weird that you do the checks there, but as I said, these are the ones I've used all the time. So your damper goes on, that's fine. Clearances are received, so we've got our clearances from ATC, and the cabin is clear as well. So turn down the top of the taxi light, so we're going to tad faster. Let's slow down. Bouncing around here. Alright, so guessing that's a little turnaround spot for smaller planes. We're going to use the whole runway. Let's slow down a little bit more. The throttles. You can't either go too fast or too slow. You just really can't find that happy medium. But let's start slowing down. Start turning. Let's just go right to the end. Sure what the biggest plane comes in. Port Macquarie. I think it's only the Q400. I think there's not many flights. Well, I think it gets service from. I think it gets serviced from most of the big hubs like Sydney, Brisbane. Sure, I wouldn't think so from anything further out. I would imagine you would have to, if you want to get your Port Macquarie, say you lived in Adelaide or something like that, I guess you'd have to fly into Brisbane or into Sydney and then get one of these flights in. Okay, so good. We're just going to go a little bit further in. Brakes are on, and before takeoff, so anti-collision goes to white, landing lights go on, taxi light can come off now. Pitot, static and isolation valves, so remember what I was saying earlier, these all go to the on position now. The bleeds as required, I've set them on already. The go around, so you've got this little, see this little black switch here. So you've got a little takeoff and go around button that needs to go on. As you can see, we've got GA there. The heading we've done. Alt select goes on. So there's alt select there. The reason why you want altitude select is you don't want to obviously go past the 20,000, or if ATC were on and they told us to fly to 4,000, then you obviously will have your altitude back at 4,000, and then you'll click alt select, because it will just carry on climbing if it does go past that. And then the last one is caution panel and warning lights. There you can see it's all clear. The only one we've got on there is the parking brake. Okay, we are good to go. Excellent. So as I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off and I'm going to manually fly it. I'm going to vector myself over the sea. We're going to do a right turn, and then we are going to hook up to our first waypoint, which is train. Good. Sit back. Enjoy the flight. Let's go. Alright. Lock goes down. Yeah, our RPMs just went a little high there, so there we go. Gear up, flaps up. Good. There's Port Macquarie there. So as I said, we're going to just vector ourselves around. Over the sea. Alright, after takeoff, landing gears up, flaps are up, bleeds, we can put to normal now. And our set power, I'll just concentrate on the flight a bit as well while I look at my notes. And the climb power, we can put to 900. So that goes to 900. Concentrate on your flight while looking at other screens. Let's just get around here. It's Port Macquarie, beautiful place. This is really, really nice place. Just do a right turn here. Just yet. Excellent. So, and what we want to do as well, we want to start climbing as well, so we can put our indicated airspeed on. We can adjust this accordingly as well. Climbing too quick as well, so just drop this a little bit. I think the ideal climb, vertical climb for Q400 is around between 1.5 and 2,000. There we go, you can see it's coming down now. Anyway, I'm not too fussed about that, so alright, what we can do is we can actually go direct to a tree, which is to enter, there we go. Now we can put it into nav mode, see what there's the nav there, and there we are. So now we are on our flight now. There's the airport, so that's where we took off from. Oh, brakes still on. Maybe was that why it was giving me an error there, or a beeping? Maybe I forgot to turn the brakes, or just clicked on this thing now. collision altitude is 10,000, so landing lights can go on, and we can now change our Bero reference to 10 to standard, which is 1013. There we go. Auto feather can go off. Auxiliary pump 1 and 2 can go off. Standby hydraulics can go off, and PTU control can go off. Pressurization is checked. We did turn on our bleed. Yes, we did. Excellent. And that's the climb checklist completed. So you can still see we're climbing at 2.2. I still think it's a tad high, but it's no big deal. The other thing you want to make sure is that if you look down here, you got MCL, which is the max climb engine rating. Okay, and then what happens normally, 95% of the time, once we get to cruise, it should jump to MCR, which is maximum cruise rating. Yeah. And then if not, just click that as well. It just adjusts the torque of the engines. So, all right, good. I think we can put our fasten seatbelt signs off now. The only thing we need to look for now is we'll get an ice warning. If there's ice, we'll get an ice warning telling us on our display, and then we'll do the necessary for all the ice. Okay, so there we go. We're climbing at a better rate now, 1.9. As I said to you, I like climbing around 1.6, 1.7, depending. 1.9 is fine. And remember what I said, remember to have altitude select indicated or on, so we don't go past the 20,000. Alright, good. Flight time is around, let's have a look, I think it's around 40 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to show you the whole flight. We will get to our top of descent, which is not far. I will show you a little bit more of the plane, and then I will stop the video, obviously not stop the flight, and then I will switch it back on just before top of descent. I do want to show you one thing quickly though, what we need to still do. I'm just going to show you some of the scenery. I do like this plane. Majestic have done a really good job on it. Highly recommend the Q400. You can see the link below to where you guys can get this from. I think I bought mine directly. Did I buy mine directly from Majestic? Maybe Just Flight. Maybe I bought it from Just Flight. I can't remember. But there you go. Everything's looking good. Everything's 100%. So, what I want to do show you before I stop the video is okay, there we go. So now what I want to do is we're at top of our cruise now, 20,000. A couple of things I want to show you guys is the rudder. As you can see the rudder here, you can see these two like triangles here. What you need to do, you need to get those lining up. What you do down here, you've got your rudder trim here. All you need to do is just left click it or right click it and make sure that these all line up. So we just right click it so you can see it's gone to 1 now. Be careful, and I've done this many a times, be careful you don't hold this down too much, because then it will trim you right to the right or right to the left. Okay, let's do it again. 3, you can see it slowly moving there. We're not quite there. I think one more. There we go. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure your rudder trim is nicely trimmed by just doing that clicking left or right. Okay, so that's the one thing I wanted to show you. The other thing we're going to quickly do is put our arrival details in so we can do our VNav. So let me just get my route up again in EFB because I want to just work out our arrival into. So let's just see what the weather first of all is in Sydney. So let's just load up that. I just see something here quickly. Can we see? Oh yes, we can. There's so current conditions. Oh, it's telling me there's no wind at all, really. Oh yeah, there's no wind up. Yeah, zero. It's zero. Okay, let's see what runway it's giving us then. 34 left or 16 right. 34 left or 16 right. It's giving us. I'm just going to come in at 16 right. Yeah, I'm going to come in at 16 right, which is the main one next to. You know, there's 3 runways at Sydney. This is the main one next to, between the 2 terminals, the international and domestic terminals. Okay, well let's get rid of that. Get rid of that, close the window there. So 16 right is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you guys on the second monitor. There we go. Cool, so as you can see, let me just show you. So there we took off from Port Macquarie. Remember we took off, so there we took off from 03 and we sort of went north and we went vectored ourselves around over the sea and then we sort of come back inland and we're just about to hit Tari there. There's the Tari VOR. I don't think that is a. That might be a VOR. I think it's a VOR. Sorry, VOR. Okay, there we go. So, what we want to do, we want to click on arrival. Okay, and what you can do is you can do a star overview or a star select. Excuse me. So if you know which one, which star you want to come on, you can go straight to the star select and then choose there. Or what you do is star overview will give you an overview of all the different stars. So our last one was Kalga, which is CAA. Remember that was our last waypoint. So what we want to do is we're coming from the north. So there we are there. So there's Kalga there. So it's showing us the best one for us is CAA-NB or the Kalga A1. Yeah. So the Kalga A1. So we know that one because we're coming in on this one, yeah, 16 right. Coming in that one there. So let's just go back to the right. So now we know we're coming on 16 right. So what we do, we choose 16 right there. Remember it was the Kalga 1 and it's given us a transition. So let's see what the transition looks like. No, that's way too high. So we're not going to come on the transition because we are past that already. So let's just go do that again. We're not going to use the transition. There we go. So we're going to come straight in. It's giving us the Sydney, the SY VOR. So what we'll do is just activate that. Okay, so that looks fine. So then we're coming down there. See where we are there. Okay. So what we want to do is then go to approach. click select approach. So we know we're coming out on 16 right because we chose that on the previous, on the arrivals page. Okay, so we want to come in on 16 right Z. This is 61. Okay. Click OK. There we go. And we click activate. So what it's actually telling us is that from CA and B, it's going straight to the Sydney VOR. But we obviously don't want to fly to the VOR. We want to fly straight to CF16. So what we could do, we could either just ignore this and then just vector ourselves to CF16 right, or you can go to route setter. You can go to route setter and go to modify. I think it might not allow us to do it. No, it's not allowing. Sometimes you can delete the waypoint. You can wait and delete that VOR. But I think it's part of the star. So. Alright, so what we'll do then is we will just vector ourselves. So let's see if we can change it on the FMC within the plane. Okay, so that's all sorted. There we go, that's all done. So our arrival is done, so our star is done, and our approach is done. And as I said, what we will do is we will just vector ourselves straight to CF16. Okay. Good, fairly straightforward. Right, let's go back to the plane, and what we want to do now is click on our FMC, click on menu, flight plan, click flight plan, then go to menu, and then click on the arrival. So we know we are coming on 16 right, so it's number 3. Again, don't try clicking type in 16 right. It's just 3, and then enter, and then now it's asking for a star. So we want the Colga 1, which is 2. Enter, and we're not going to go to the transition, so we ignore that. So we'll just click straight on the approach, which is we're coming on a 16RZ approach. So it's number 2. Enter, and there's no transition. Let's just look at that again, double check that. Yeah, 16, so yeah, 16 right, and then enter. And then, okay, so just to confirm, we're arriving at Sydney, 16 right, the star is the Colga 1, and it's 16 right LLS approach. And you want to click enter again, so that gets imported into your flight plan, and there we go. Right, if there's any no links like that, you don't delete any no links which is after your 16 right, your airport, your runway entry. So number 13. So yeah, don't click. Sorry, where is it? Don't delete that one. You do want to delete though. You do want to delete any links which are before the runway entry. So we want to click delete this one. So all you do is just highlight it, and then on the right you see delete there. Okay, good. So let me just double check this. I think this is, see, I don't think it's giving us that, this hasn't given us that the SY VOR. So let me just double check it on my other screen here. So there we go. So if you guys can see, so we go to CAA, then we go to LANOL, then we go to TSAT, and then it's directing us straight to that CF16R. Okay, that is part of the CF. And then I will show you guys on the other screen what we did. So there we go. So as you can see, yeah, it's CAA, then LANOL, we need to be below 7,000. And then from LANOL, even though it's showing us Oh, actually, I just realized we need to delete TSAT. Yeah, we don't need TSAT. Yeah, we don't need that TSAT. So there we go. We can delete TSAT, and then that will take us straight to the CF. So let's go back. So let's delete TSAT. Delete. There we go. That's better. That's much better. So that's why it's really good to have all these charts in front of you, so you can look. You know, you can see something's not right. Then, like I just did there now, I just realized TSAT was sitting right over the airport as well. So what we'll do now is, as you can see, we'll go to Lanor, and then from Lanor we'll go straight to CFR 16. Okay, good. All right, and then the other thing I want to show you is we want to work out our VNAV approach. So basically, when we get to the top of the descent, we want the plane to start bringing us down, and we obviously need to be at a certain altitude at a certain waypoint. Okay, so the best is, what I do is I click flight plan, which we are already, and as you know, with the Q400, it doesn't give you the altitude, flight level at many of the waypoints, but it does give you a few further down. So there it's giving us, so we know that we need to be at CF16 right, we need to be at 3000, okay? Because that's where we catch the localizer, and that's the glide slope as well. Alright, so we know that we need to be at CF16 right at 3000. So what we do is we click on VNAV, okay, VNAV part, and we click on the little 2. Now we look for that waypoint. So at CF16 right, we know that we have to be at 3000. So what we do, we click number 6, and we click enter, and there it's telling us now that at a certain waypoint, it will bring us down at vertical speed at minus 1800, and we will descend to 3000. Click enter again, enter, and there we go. So I've actually got 7 minutes. That was actually worth doing. Alright, so there we go. So top of descent is in 34 miles, 6 minutes there. You can actually see the top of descent there. Alright, actually I might even not stop this video now. It's come a lot quicker than I expected. So this VNAV path can be a little bit tricky sometimes. You need to, you know, if CF16 right doesn't work, and you'll know it doesn't work because it doesn't accept all these figures, what you need to do, as I said, it can be a little tricky. You just got to play around with the different waypoints. Try different ones. Try the one before it or after it. It also depends how far you are into the flight as well. Let me just get rid of this message here. So that's what you need to do. You need to do it fairly quickly in the flight, or if you do forget about it, is obviously do your VNAV path, but you need to work out which waypoint you need to be at a certain level. And if the obvious one doesn't take it or doesn't accept, you know, get accepted like you saw there, then try the one below it or one above it or even the 2 above, and just play around with it until it does. If you can't get it right, then what I do is, and I've done it again many a times, is you need to just do a manual. You just do a manual descent. So you obviously click on your vertical speed and you bring it down manually. You can do it that way as well. Okay, good. So what we will do is, just before we get to a top of descent, as I said, I'm not going to stop the video now. We're not far from coming into Sydney now. So what we need to do now is so what we need to do is, just before we get to the top of descent, we just adjust our altitude, and then what we do, we click the VNAV mode, yeah, and then you'll see a little VNAV will pop you in the top right hand corner. And as soon as we hit that, it will start descending the plane. And another thing you need to do is you need to pull down on your power as well, because you don't want to be overspeeding the plane as well. So. Alright, good. So I'll just show you around the plane a bit. Nice long beach down there. Really nice that. I don't want to miss that top of descent, so as you guys are aware, I'm sure a lot of you are aware that Majestic are bringing out a Pro Edition. I think they're still doing some testing. I know they've got a few niggling things they need to try and sort out, but that Pro Edition hopefully will be out very time soon, and it will be a shared cockpit. It will have a shared cockpit feature. It's going to have a HUD as well, you know, like the PMDG NGX. It's going to have a HUD, and I know they're doing some work on the control panel as well, you know, where we set our weights and baggage and all that type of thing. Alright, we've still got a couple of minutes. We've got 3 minutes. Just show you some other parts of the plane. There we go. That's a nice one there from that side. I think this is Williams. This was Williamstown, I think. I don't want to miss that top of descent, so let's get back into, just show you this last little bit here. That's a nice shot there. Okay, so what we want to do, so let's just see, so at Lenore we want to be below 7,000, so what we'll do, we'll just crank this right down to 7,000. we need to just keep an eye on it. What we need to do now is click the VNAV, there we go, so you can see there VNAV is activated. As soon as we hit the top of the descent, the plane will start descending. We will pick up speed, so you need to just watch your speed as well. And then we will do some descent preparation. Lots of houses down there. Nice. Look at all these houses along the sea. What area? I wonder if this is Newcastle. I thought we maybe just north of Newcastle. Actually, I think this. Let's have a quick look here. YPEC Airport. I know Belmont Airport. Okay. Yeah, I still think we're just a bit north of Newcastle. Okay, good. So we should be hitting top of descent any second now. There we go. So you saw that it said V path captured. We'll start descending. So you can see we're starting to pick up a little bit of speed. So what we need to do, let's just pull back on our power a bit. We don't want to pick up too much speed. There we go. Okay, what's this message say? Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so we are descending. So pressurization, we need to just put our altitude, our elevation altitude, which is 20 for Sydney, and that is down over here. So this can basically stay at 0, I think. Yeah, this can stay at 0. We are going to do flaps 15. Okay, the other thing we need to do is we can put our seatbelt sign back on. The other thing we need to do is our speed bugs. And what I'll do is I will run that little script again. I normally do the speed bugs because basically what it's going to do, it's going to recalculate. See our speed catching up on us. Let's just drop our speed or watch our speed. So remember, it's going to calculate the temperature, the weight. We don't want to be putting the speed bugs too early because obviously we still got a little way to go, and if we tell the aircraft what the weight is now, then yeah, it's not going to give us the true, the true figure of what the weight is. So I always wait when we are not sort of on long finals. I do the last bit of the weight. I'll put the weights in. So we'll do that in a sec. The other thing we need to do is put our localizer in. So remember I said to you can either do that in the radio stack or you can do that in the FMC. So you go to tune, you click nav 1, which is that one, and the localizer is 10950. 500, enter, there we go. So there we go. You can see the active one is 10950. Okay. Get rid of that. The other thing you want to do is, and I forget this, and it's a common mistake, is the nav source. Again, is once we closer and we want to pick up the localizer. I'm just watching my speed here as well. Is this needs to change to, I'll just quickly show ILS 1 excuse me, ILS 1 there, so it knows that it's going to catch the ILS. We'll leave it at FMC there for FMS 1 for a little bit longer. So now you can see our path there now. Remember we deleted a couple of waypoints, so from CA we go to Lanor, or Lanor, whatever you want to call it, and then from Lanor we go to CF16 right, which is over there, and then we start turning. We've actually got a nice day coming into Sydney here. The weather's good, nice and clear. We're going to have the Sydney landscape, or the city on our left hand side. You know what, we might even fly over my brother's house. He lives just north of Sydney, so we might give him a little wave, eh? Okay, and then we'll go through the approach checklist, and then we've got the landing checklist, so that will all be good. There we go, that's a nice. So let's see if we can start seeing the city yet. No. There's Palm Beach there. That's where that beach there is where they film a lot of I think it's Home and Away. Is it Home and Away? Over there. There's West Head, and my brother lives. I'll show you where my brother lives. He lives near the bush here, just around here. There's yeah. City's just, I don't know, is it? Yeah, it's down there somewhere. But my brother lives, yeah, he lives around here somewhere. And I've got another mate who lives just over here where the mouse is. He lives right on the bush. So, good. Good. Nice clear day. What's the temperature? 16 degrees in Sydney. A nice, that's nice. That's a nice, pleasant winter's day. I think that's what we're getting in London at the moment, is 16 degrees, and we right in the middle of summer. So, yeah, the guys in Sydney can't complain too much. Good. So, landing time, I would guess we've only got about another 60 miles to go. Oh, we're going into the red, yeah, so let's start bringing this down. Yeah, we've only got about another 10 minutes to go or so. Okay, I think we've gone off our path here a little bit. What have we gone off on our path here? Okay. I'm not sure why. I might have clicked nav by mistake. But yeah, we were going off a little bit there. I'm glad I went back into the cockpit there. There we go. So we're back on track now. Yeah, I'm not sure why that went off. And you know me, I don't like cutting out any of these in my videos as well. You know. Yeah, we make mistakes and we just learn from it. But yeah, I'm not sure why I went off there, but never mind. Alright, landing lights go on because we're below 10,000 and our altitude, our transition altitude, we need to put that up to 1016. There we go. Alright, so we're just getting back on back on track. I suppose I could have just vectored myself, but it's all good. And we need to just watch the speed as well. Just keep an eye on the speed. There we go. So we're back on our route now. Good there. You start. See, we're able to see Sydney now. So you see, I made a classic mistake there. What I was telling you guys earlier, that if you don't press Alt Select, it just goes way past. So. Right, so I forgot to click Alt Select there because I wanted to stay around sort of the 5,000. So as I said, you always make sure we need to descend a little bit more here. So let's just get down to 3,000. There we go. So remember what I said to you. Always remember to to make sure you click Alt Select. Okay, so the approach checklist is altimeter we've set, the fuel transfer, so hydraulic fuel pumps go on, standby hydraulic goes on, P2 control goes on, cabin is clear, caution and warning lights are all off. Good. Everything's looking fine. We're at 3,000 now, that's where we want to be. The city should be on our left there, there we go. Just want to watch our speed as well, start bringing our speed down. Okay, I'm going to do the weights now as well, so remember I run this little script. So there we go. We're going to come in at flaps 15, so it's number 2, and just click enter. And then our speed, let's just watch our speed here. Okay, what we're going to do, we can put this changes to ILS1, the nav source. We've captured the localizer, and then you can see we're about to catch our glide slope. So as soon as the blue diamond touches the horizontal or the artificial horizon, we will then capture. Alright, we're at 10 DME, so gear goes down. Go, speed coming in a tad fast here, so let's just get our speed down. Alright, so landing is ice protection as required, we don't need. Landing gears down, condition levers we put to max. Flaps we need to set those, which we're doing as we're coming down, and the bleeds go to minimum. There we go. Alright, good. I'll be honest with you, that that approacher came a lot quicker than I expected. There we go. We can see Sydney on our left there, Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House. I do like Sydney, a great city. I've been quite a few times, and yeah, I love it. There we go. See Sydney Cricket Ground and the rugby ground as well in the background there. All right, let's concentrate back on the flight. Right, we can do some more flaps. Let's get down. Just show you the other side of that one there. That's what I wanted to show you. There we go. There's the city there. Watching your speed all the time. Don't let it get away from you. They're not auto throttles at all, so you've got to
1,000.
Alright. What I'm going to do, we'll take it off autopilot. Bring this in manually. There we go. Just keeping an eye on our speed here. Don't want to let this get away from us. We've got the right flaps. Gone a little high now, so let's just drop this. Good, and there's the airport.
500.
Using Flytampa, the new Flytampa Sydney scenery. We're still a tad high here, so I'm just going to drop my nose here a bit.
Plus 100.
Yeah, we're coming in a little high, but it's fine. We've got to
Minimums.
continue. Yeah, we're at the right,
100.
right speed as well.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Go. That was a little hard. That was a tad hard, but they do come in fairly hard, these. There we go. Excellent. Good stuff. Alright, so yeah, that was a tad hard. little harder than I wanted, but it's all good. Oh, you know what? I don't actually think I can go on this one. Yes, I can. That's all right. We're not on that side. And there we go. So, welcome to Sydney. Yeah, as I said, guys, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that landing was a tad harder than I see what's minus 400. Yeah, a little hard. It's a pass. It's a pass for the VA, and believe me, I brought in this Q400 in a lot heavier. But yeah, they do land fairly hard. The Q400s, they are known to hit the ground at a fairly heavy speed. So okay, so we can actually turn landing lights off as well. Taxi lights go on. We can put our control lock on. Anti-collision goes to red. It's just so this is the new, as I said, the new Flytampa Sydney scenery. Really good job they've done on this. My biggest issue with Flytampa is, and it doesn't take up a lot of VAS, is static aircrafts. I wish they would just add a little bit more static aircraft. That's my only issue. Alright, let's bring out our, we want to go to, where do we want to go to? G. Let's go to D then. Just trying to look on my next page. D49, I think it is. Yep, there it is there. D49. No, I know where to go. Good one. Okay. So we're going to turn right down this one. Yeah, so sorry, I was saying that's the only issue I have, is I would like to see a little bit more static aircraft. A little bit more static aircraft with Flytampa scenery. I know there's a couple scattered around. You guys know that I'm a big, I do like, there's our parking right, yeah. I do like UK 2000 airport, and they have a lot of static aircraft, and it doesn't take a lot of CPU power. So good. So there we are. Let's see if we can land this nicely, park it nicely. A little bit over. Brake goes on. Now we can. I don't think he's going to do the Macarena for us. He must probably say that was a poor landing. We parked a bit too far. Let's have a look. Oh yes, a little tad far there. Anyway, good. And here we are in Sydney, a nice day after having a little holiday in Port Macquarie. Guys, that's it. Thank you very much. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the airport. thanks for watching. As I said, that was a look at the thing in the building there. So that was a really cool flight, a nice little flight down from Port Macquarie to Sydney. A few little mistakes there, as always, but hey, it's all part of the fun and all part of learning. So the landing was fine. I came in a little hard, but I'm happy with that. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you got any comments, please leave them below. If you got any suggestions, leave them below as well. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.